Yeah, then can you hear me? Right. So in the last session, we have created a table, right? Hmm. Yes. So we need to create a table. We have just created a table. Then based on this, we want to create the data source. And then check the extractor. And then database system. What to do? Replicate data source. Then info source. Then done, right? So we are supposed to create the data source. I'll just log into source system. Yes, still workbench. Sorry. So we have created a table. Let us, yeah. Hello? Right. Yeah. So we have created a table, right? This is a table we have created and we have posted some entries to this table also. So I just want to create the data source. Now before that, let me verify the logical system. Somebody is changing this logical system. Right, nobody, right, no problem. It is done. Now what is that? RSO2. RSO2. So these are the type of data sources: transaction data, master data attribute, and master data text. So I'm just trying to create a transaction data source. Give the data source name. What to do? Create. So browse and choose the application for which you want to assign this. So I'm just going with sales and distribution. So what it is asking? The tabular view on which you want to generate the data source. So there are default applications which are delivered by SAP. We are using that. Right. Normally it is relevant to some application. We are going to use that application. Right. So then dot. So dot. Still any doubt? Still fine. Now saying what it is asking? Generate delta. Right. What is this generate delta? There is something called delta specific field. First one. Delta specific field. The generic data source can collect deltas based on single field only. The generic data source can collect deltas based on single field only, known as delta specific field. It must be related to either timestamp. The delta specific field must be related to timestamp Say for example, entry time, document entry time, related to timestamp only, no? Or it must be related to cal date, something like created on, or it must be related to numeric pointer, something like serial number or document number. So I'm talking about deltas. So first we have to run the installation, then we have to collect the deltas. Right? What is delta? You know, what is delta? Right, change since the last flow. So if you want to collect the deltas, so delta specific field is mandatory. I told you. So we can collect the deltas in case of generic data source based on single field. That field is known as, what is this? Delta specific. So I want to collect my deltas based on day. Most of the time it is either by day or by timestamp. Numeric pointers are used very less. So I'm just going by cal day, and it is related to which one? Cal day, right? It is not related to timestamp or numeric pointer. It is related to calendar day. You can see. Getting my point? So what it is asking? It is asking some safety interval. What is the need of safety interval? Let me explain you. Safety intervals. So they are used to avoid data inconsistency. They are used to avoid data inconsistency. Right. What is the problem if I don't maintain safety interval? Assume that I have done installation, I am running deltas. While running deltas, a document is getting created by user. A document is getting created by user. So what is going to happen? If it is saved, well and good, it's going to collect. If it is not saved, there is a chance of missing that record. Sometimes even it can cause duplications also. Getting my point? So assume that I have done installation and I am running deltas. So during deltas, I am running some delta now. So at the same time, user is posting some record. So if it is, unless you save this document, we cannot. Unless we save this document, we cannot. Unless we save this document, we cannot get that record, right? Document is not available in the database. Unless it is there in database, can we collect that record? We cannot collect, no? So there is a chance of missing that record, or there is a chance of sometimes duplications also. So it is an inconsistency, right? Data inconsistency. Yes or no? Arun? Right. Santosh, anything? Right. Now I want to use safety intervals to avoid this inconsistency. So there are two types of safety intervals. There are two types of safety intervals. There are two types of safety intervals. One is upper limit. Second one, lower limit. One is upper limit. Second one, lower limit. Upper limit is used in case of timestamp or calendar. Upper limits are used in case of timestamp or calendar. So if it is timestamp, so let's say for example I have given an upper limit of 1800. So if I convert to minutes, what's going to happen? 30 minutes, right? So now assume that I have done installation at, so my unit is run at morning 8 AM. and I'm going for delta 1 at 9:30. The system time is 9:30 a.m. So, but in this 9:30 a.m., what is your safety interval time? 30 minutes, right? So, records between 9 to 9:30, they are treated as safety interval record. 9 to 9:30, they are treated as safety interval record, and they are not collected. In this current load, they are not collected. So, whatever records are there between, what is your last installation time? 8 a.m. So, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. system is going to collect the record, and it's going to maintain the timestamp as 9 a.m. Last delta timestamp, it's going to take it as 9 a.m. and I'm going for delta 2 at 10:30, let's say. So, what is your safety interval once again? 30 minutes, right? So, records between 10 to 10:30, they are not collected. So, what is your last timestamp? 9 a.m. So, the records between 9 to 10 a.m., they are collected in the delta 2, and once again the timestamp is going to be 10 a.m. So, similarly, delta 3, let's say, assume that the time is 11:30. Once again, safety interval 30 minutes, last 30 minutes is going to remove as safety interval. So, records between 10 to 11, they are collected during delta 3. So, once again the timestamp becomes 11. Getting my point? So, it is going to take up in terms of seconds if it is timestamp. If it is cal day, what's going to happen? Takes up in terms of days. In terms of days, if I set up a day, so records in the last day that are updated as, treated as safety interval records. So, last day records are not collected. So, whatever data is there before last day, it's going to collect those records only. Getting my point? So, 1 day safety interval. That's what. If it is numeric pointer, so very rarely used, but still, I'm just giving you the information. If it is numeric pointer, safety interval, lower limit. If I maintain a safety interval of lower limit, what's going to happen? So, let's say, for example, if I maintain a lower limit of 1000, the last 1000 records, once again, they are updated. Once again, they are updated. So, there is a chance of duplicates here. So, that is where DSO comes into picture, where it's going to override duplicated. So, this is about your safety interval. So, what is our delta specific column now? Cal day. What is that we have to maintain? Upper limit of, I'm just taking 1 day. Then save it. So, what is this once again? Save it. Package, I told you package and request numbers, they are used for transportation. Save it. Create a request. Save it. Continue. So what to do? What is this? Selection, hide, inversion, field on. Right? So there is something called selection and hide. Let's see first. So I'm just going for selections related to employee and product. So what is the selection? I told you something called selective full loads, right? What is selective full load? We can do a full load for selective records. We can do a full load for selective records. That's what. Let's say in the source, I got 1 to 10,000 documents. In the source, I got 1 to 10,000 documents. Out of this, I want to upload data from 3001 to 6000. Out of this, I want to upload data from 3001 to 6000. So what is this? This is selective full load. This is selective full load. Selection is, so if I go for any selection, we can go for selective full load using that particular column. Getting it clear? Or anything? So same selections and heights you are going to get as part of our other extractors. So if at all any unwanted column, if you want to remove any unwanted column from the data source, you can just go by hide. So second one I am talking about hide. It is to exclude the unwanted columns from data. But all, yeah, record level. No, see, without having any selection, where you are going to maintain the selection. I want to give the selections, not 3001 to 6000. So to give that selections, I am just making a column. So using that column, we can go for selective full loads. And these selections I can maintain in the info package. So I will show you. Anyhow, we are going to come across that. Getting my point? Right. So hide is to exclude the unwanted columns from data source. Selection is for selective full loads. So I just gone for selection, then save it. What it says? Data source is generated successfully. So what is our next step? RSVA3. Check the extractor. So this is our data source name. RSVA3. And give the data source. Go with extract. Give the data source, just go with extract. How many records are there in our table? Just go with continue. Click on display list. Give a double click on the records. Right. Everywhere it is same. So now what is our next step? Replicate the data source. So where I am going to get transfer structure. So go to BW system. Workbench. You need to go by RS. Yeah. Source system. Yes. It's going to work. No issues. It will work. It will work. So this is our R3 system. Logical name. Let us check it. Right. Give a double click on this. BW data sources. SAP application components. What's our application? Right click. What is this? So it's copying the transfer structure as well as status of the transfer structure also. So as many as you have got in that application, all those replicated. No, no. Since it is a generic, if it is business content, we can go by that. Doesn't matter, unless there is some change, it will not affect. It doesn't matter. So what is our next step? Assigning info source. So it's done. So this is our data source, right? Right click. What is this? So we have to go by other. Since it is a generic data source, click on create. So what is the data source? What is the info source we have to choose? Why it is flexible? Since the data source is transaction data. If it is master data, choose direct update. Go with continue. Go with continue. So what is the message? Data source assigned to info source. Yes. Now you can see what is this transfer structure, which is copied, right? Now I need to fill relevant BW columns here. Then I have to apply the mapping. Yes or not? So we have got some objects. Let us try to use those objects. Since we have got some objects, so I got these objects as the employee ID and all. So I'm going to use this object. First one is sales.number, right? So sales.number. So what is this? So we can use zero caldinus, then employee ID, then product ID, then sales quantity, referencing column, what is that? Then revenue, cost, and this center. Sales quantity is not available. Sales. Just go with what to do? Propose one-to-one mapping. So what is our target? DSO. When you are loading data to DSO, we have to use zero record mode. That's what I was talking to you. So normally this zero record mode is mapped to some status column, ROO status or some columns it is mapped. Keep in mind. So here we are using some generic table. We don't have any status column, but normally in the live you are going to have status column. So this zero record mode can be mapped to the status column like RO cancel like this. Now just go with activate. So what is that we have done? We have just mapped the source columns with BW columns. What's our next step, Santosh? No. We have to create DSO, we have to create update tools. Yeah, then. Okay. Okay. Yes. Same procedure, whatever we have learned in modeling. Press system. Go to info provider. Select your info area. Now using this, right click, create, ODS, give the name followed by description. Go with create. So settings I told you already, Dex reporting, SID generation in 7. Say, so far what is the template we are using? Catalog. Now what is the template we are using? InfoSource. So this is my InfoSource. Double click. So drag and drop required capture. Go with active. So we need to create update tools. Arun? Yeah, Arun. We'll see. Create update tools. So give your info source. This is your info source name. Just enter. Go with activate. It is activated. So what to do now? We have to create info package. Find the info source. So what is this? This is our R3 system. Take a right click. What is the option? Just save it. Okay, this selections I was talking to you for selective full loads. If you want to go for selective full load, those selections has to be maintained here. Yeah. These are all the documents and document numbers. So processing, select your target, update. What is update? Right, schedule, go back. Monitor. What will be going on? Meanwhile, I will tell you something here. So there is something called repeat delta and repair full request. There is something called repeat delta and repair full request. So assume that I have done installation. And I am running delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, delta 4. Delta 1, delta 2, delta 3, delta 4. These are the deltas currently running. What is your last delta? Delta 4, right? Getting my point? If last delta is failed, what is your last delta in this case? Delta 4. If last delta is failed, we can request a repeat delta. Only for repeat delta is possible only for last delta. You can request a repeat delta. This is only for last delta, where system selects logical unit of work, nothing but delta records related to last delta once again. So here I have done installation and currently doing some deltas. So last delta is delta 4. If last delta is failed, what is that we can do? We can request a repeat delta, where system is going to request the last delta logical unit of work. Then there is something called repair full request. There is something called repair full request. What is this repair full request? Right. See, assume that let's say delta 2 is failed, whole deltas are failed. In that case, we cannot go for a repeat delta, right? We cannot go for repeat delta since it is whole delta. Repeat delta is only possible for last delta. Now, see, in that delta, there could be some missing records. We can do a repair full load for missing selection, for missing delta records. Getting my point? So, in those deltas, there might be some missing selections. For those selections, do a full load, but using a repeat full request. I will show you all this. Repeat delta is for last delta. Repeat full request is for whole deltas. If very whole deltas are missing, so for the missing records, you can do a full load by using a repair full request. So it says, what it says? But records are there in the source, right? Load is successful. The load is successful, but it says 0 from 0. Means to say, installation is successful, no records are transferred. If it is deltas, we can request a repeat delta. if it is delta, but it is initialization, right? So what I'll do a repair pull request, Santosh now. Getting my point? Right. So now what I'll go for? I want to go for repair pull request. So what is this? Full update. So many bar scheduler. What is this? So indicate request as repair request. Continue. Schedule. Click on start. So that is how you need to do a repair pull request. See, for all the selections I have gone for repair pull request. But if I want to go for only select two records, you can maintain the selections here. Since every record is missing, for all the records I want for repair pull load. But only for select records, if you want to go with, you can just give the selection. Now go with monitor. For the first time, always we used to go by installation only. Then always we used to run deltas. Now I can see 3 from 3. So successful, right? So you can go for activation of ODS to InfoCube data loading, everything as usual. Right. So now what is that? I need to run deltas. If I want to run delta, what is delta? A change in the source. So what I'll do, I'll just try to create a new entry. If the entry, see, I'm just going by document number 5, the child date. Just going by third, employee 100, 11, some quantity, EA, revenue, cost, save it. So what is your day timestamp? What is the record day? When it is created? On third, right? So I told you there is some safety interval, right? Last delta timestamp is going to be there in RSA 7. Last delta timestamp. Every time I have shown you last delta timestamp. What is your data source here? This is your data source. You can see. So what is the timestamp? Right? So what's going to happen if the record falls into, what is your safety interval time? Now, what is your last delta timestamp here? Third. Right? And what is your safety interval time? 1 day. What is your system date? I think it is 4th 1 second. So the system timestamp, assume it as 4th. So if I remove 4th from, 1 from 4th, what's going to happen? It becomes 3rd, right? So record, assume that last timestamp is 2. So records are collected between 2nd and 3rd only. If the record is not falling into this category, what's going to happen? We are going to miss that record. Yes or not? So the record must be fallen into the time interval between that timestamp, last delta timestamp and safety interval period. And what I'll do? What is that I have to go for now? Delta update, schedule, go with start. Getting my point? So that is how you need to go for installation and you need to run the delta. So remaining, I will continue. See, Monday you are coming? Aaron?